In case you're one to question what in the world was all that, there's a large concentration of greenbrier, sawbriar, that exists inside my turnaround in the garden. So again, where my trailer is parked right now, it's part of my drive-through. That's in the center. And that's been there for years. It's been one of the thickest, kind of nastiest parts of the land still left to tame. Worked all around it. But I never actually tackled that area. I figured since I had this flamethrower, this propane torch, I might as well just burn a good portion of it up right now while I'm going to be here for hours working on it, you know, making sure it stays contained. If you guys saw, it got really cold, a little rainy, quite windy. That ebbs and flows, but I got cold. I had to throw on this flannel. But in other news, this roof is up. So with this roof, you might be having some questions too. Like, why in the world would I put some of these pieces the way that I did? Why would I have this super long one here in the middle instead of at the end? Well, the thing is at the end, this one reaches its spot. Okay, it reaches its spot. So if I put that one there, when I cut off, I have more left, because I'm gonna take probably the minimum overhang here and run a line all the way down so it's uniform across the whole front of this thing. By doing so, I'm going to have a bunch of little scrap pieces extra, and if I put this here, it would be like 2 feet shorter. That one works, so I can let there just be a little scrap piece there, a little scrap piece there, and then get the most left over here. And then on the back side here, I did just want a uniform 11-inch overhang from where the wood ends. You can see I got one sticking out though. That's because it was really bent up, and that was a 2-piecer. So I used the better one in the front that overlaps this one. I'll just cut this flush at 11 inches like everyone else. And then when I get to the point where I'm gonna gutter this, I've got a plan for all that too. I just wanted this done the way it is now for the time being. So I should cut this metal, but we're in for some rough weather for a couple days. So rather than cutting the metal right away, while I still have a nice time to be outside, that I'm not completely, you know, torrential downpour or super freezing, I want to get this thing filled, at least to a degree. I got a couple different things I'm going to build quick, just to make sure some stuff makes sense for storage, and then just get a whole bunch of my stuff out of the rain. I know a number of people were asking about if I'd be using like pallets or anything like that to help keep things off the ground. I do have enough pallets to do that as a floor level, and I may, but there's a couple different things I'm going to incorporate into here, some of which I really want to show you. So we'll see how this goes. Well, I had to stop in for lunch, but Pinky Pepper just baked some bread. We got some smoked brisket. I'm going to add a little bit of cracked red pepper and garlic salt. We took the dehydrated walking onion greens from out in the garden, grind those up with a mortar and a pestle. That's so tasty. We're going to add a little bit of cheese to the top. And my camera's obviously noticing it's warmer in here, but these sandwiches should be amazing. So this bread is... Pinky, is this your sourdough?
Yeah.
So yeah, Pinky Pepper's got a pet sourdough. So she made this bread today. 3 nice little loaves. It is still hot and steamy. This butter melts right on it. Oh, there it is. And here's what we do. We just take these breads, we slice the bottom pieces, right? Put some butter on there. Sprinkle a little bit of pepper. Sprinkle a little bit of garlic salt. This stuff here is absolutely amazing. Let me clean my lens. Oh, the lens was cleared till I brought it over here by this tasty warm food. I get it. And I just sprinkle some of this dehydrated walking onions. I found that out at the end of last year that you could do that. This stuff is so good. Put that, and then we're going to put a little bit of cheese right now. Put some brisket meat and some cheese. I'll show you in a minute. I'm going to let this unsteam. So these finished products are pretty amazing. I'm really looking forward to this. There's gonna be so much flavor in here from our own garden, from the smoked meat, from the homemade sourdough bread. Just a little pause from the work to eat right and get back and hit it hard. So hopefully you guys didn't mind that. I'm sorry about the steamed up lens earlier. I just wanted to show this though. So there's a reason Mama Pepper likes it when I'm on lunch duty. Well, she does an amazing job too. So it's coming together. Some of the little peppers came up. The reason I only made a couple sandwiches for lunch and then we did other stuff is Mama Pepper actually went to town with our little chili pepper and sweet pepper. So I'm in charge of these guys today. Pinky, show me what you just said.
I said these eggs are all from today.
These eggs are all from today. What's that mean? I gotta look down at the eggs. Today. I wasn't showing them the eggs. I wanted it to be a surprise. Wow, do you know how many that is right now?
I don't know.
Wow, it's like 18, like a 1.5 dozen, huh? And then the kids came up and they asked, what do you think this is? They were asking. And what Monster Truck did is I saw his eyes. They looked off to the side. He saw that pickaxe there. And he says, I think I know. And then he ran and got his own pickaxe. Show me what you're thinking. Can you put the other ones in for me?
These ones. See.
So here's the thing, guys. If I only use like the back section of here, you know, and I run that wall and this wall and this wall, I have a lot of space I'm not really using. So I'm probably going to run two kind of center walls here and then also here that will also be used for storage like this. But the main point of this video is what I'm about to do with this. So I'm gonna, and actually it wasn't even what I was thinking. I had a completely different design when I started this video about how I was gonna do what I'm about to do, and it would have been more labor intensive. It would have, for sure. And it wouldn't have maybe even worked as well. What I'm thinking about now is awesome, and anyone can do this. So I'm gonna get this going here, and then I'll show you. I think you guys will appreciate this. One other thing I should mention, you're gonna see I'm doing a lot of my cutting with a chainsaw. The reason is that I do not have electricity where I am, and if I was closer to the house, I'd just run an extension cord, be using my worm drive, you know, skill saw. I'd be doing some other things, but when I'm farther, the way I do things often is do my cuts with a chainsaw, kind of like you would in an off-grid situation. You know, you can have gasoline-powered stuff. You could also have your batteries charged, be using a little circular saw with the battery. I just find mine's not really tough enough for this oak to run off of that battery. It'd grind it down really quickly. So that's one reason you see me doing so much chainsaw. And if you're wondering why we chose to homestead on grid as opposed to off, we've actually, up in one of these corners, we've got a whole video about that, and I think you'll be kind of pleasantly surprised with our reason on it. Yeah, baby girl, come here. She just woke up from nap. Can you wave at the camera and tell them hi? You gotta say hi.
Say hi.
She's not very talkative. Oh, but since there is no electricity here, here's one thing I did do. I decided to take one of these. What? It doesn't work? Uh-oh. What happened? Something happened. Oh, battery was popping out. Somehow we lost the back to the batteries. Let me shut that down. Put that back. Put that back. Okay. There you go. I installed one of these, so if I come in here at night, I can do this and shine some light on the subject. I don't need a flashlight with me, especially because a lot of times, whether it's gardening or doing our evening chores, we just work till it gets dark, and sometimes you need a little extra light. So if I got to come in here and find something, that'll help. And then the other thing I do want to mention is that this back wall, at the time being, is going to be kind of a weak point. If we have some driving rain coming from the west, it's going to come between all these little fence pickets and anything that's like really shouldn't be out and getting weathered. You can see those gaps back there will. But the cool thing that I'm actually thinking, I think I mentioned in the last video, is as long as I've got this structure up here, I'm thinking on this backside, just taking out a couple of the little oak trees and having a lean-to off this side for the Jacob sheep in this pasture. So since I already have this solid thing here, I'll just run some boards, run some roofing tin, and probably put some walls, maybe at least on the north side, so they can come in here, they can get out of the rain, have a nice little place to be, because there's no real main structure or shelter in this particular pasture. There's kind of a little makeshift one, but I could make a better one, and then by having all this be covered, that would be additional, you know, safety and dry stuff for everything that's going to be in there. So I gotta whip this one out now. Monster Trucks give me a couple more boards, and then I'll show you what I was thinking here. So I took that pallet and added all these extra runners. And now I'll show you why. So the general idea there is just so I'm able to have all my tools sitting here. Their handles are out of the rain. I can tell just from looking at the top of them. Pull it out, right? Want to put it away? Put it away. Now because there's a fence post here, I did add an extra upright board that I screwed this to, so it's at a slight angle. It's not parallel with the wall, it's not tight with the wall, it's at a slight angle because I have this cedar post here. And then with things like this pitchfork, whenever I put it away, I got to make sure to spin it so the spikes ain't sticking out. You come around the corner and stab yourself in the leg. Alright, so I put it in, those guys pointing out, and when I get in, I just spin it, and I can even tuck it up behind there just to make extra sure. But that is a pretty cool idea. I thought of it during this video. I saw a pallet and just kind of saw the spacing of it. And in fact, before I made this thing here for the pickaxes and the mattock axe, I was going to use that little pallet that I have, but I thought it would be even better over there under that workbench I just made. And it's easy enough to make this here, you know, for those guys. So that's it. That's going to help me. I've had a number of garden tools have handles that have rotted out over the years. Now I don't need to worry about that. And conveniently, you know, tucked away. But I got to pull all these out for a trip coming up on Sunday. I'm going to hit like 4 homesteads in 2 days, do some work. Shh. Some of it's kind of a surprise.
Thank you for watching. Hit the like button. Thumbs up.